Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how you can build a bus ticket booking website like this one. So as you can see, this is our main booking system and we can select from. So let's say maybe from Dublin to perhaps Sligo. And then you can book a single journey or return as well. So let's say you want to travel on the 20th and you may want to select as well a return date, maybe on the 25th. So this one is optional, obviously, you know. So now search for buses. And here are all the available buses from Dublin to Sligo. So Route 23, 41A and 471. As you can see, it's €20 per seat. So let's book this one, for instance. And as you can see, you have the layout of all the seats available on the bus. So if you're on your own, maybe you want to book this one here, seat number 5. Or perhaps if you're accompanied by someone, maybe you want to book 21 and 22. And there you go. This is our total. And now we can book our tickets. And as you can see, those 2 seats are reserved for adults, but if you hover on top, you can also book them for children or infants, obviously at different price point. So that's basically it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay guys, so the very first step is to set up our hosting and register our domain name. And for this, we're going to use Hostinger. So we have negotiated special terms with them. You can save up to 91% discount if you use the link in the description below. So click on the very first link in the description below where it says mrweb.tv/hosting, and this is going to bring you to this page. Again, this is a co-branded page that we have with Hostinger that gives you access to up to 91% discount. Okay, so it's very important that you use that link. So once you're here, basically all you have to do is click Start Now. And as you can see, it's only $2.99 per month instead of $6.99 already. Okay, now if you click on this, you can select your billing cycle and save even more money. So clearly, the longer your billing cycle, the more you're going to save. So if you were to select 1 year, you will pay $2.99 a month, okay, for the 1 year. But after that, the plan will renew at $8.99. So this is the normal cost, basically, okay? So you're saving here $108 over the 1 year period. Now, if you were to select 24 months, basically you still pay $2.99, but in 2 years' time, you will renew at only $7.99, okay? So you're saving here $216. Now, if you select 48 months, so 4 years in total, you still pay $2.99 for the full year, okay, for every month. But when you renew, you will renew at only $6.99. So in total, you will save $432 US. And all these 3 billing cycles here include a free domain for the first year, which is a nice gesture as well. Now, if you scroll down the page, you can enter your email address and log in using Facebook and Google, and then you select your payment method. So you have credit cards, PayPal, Google Pay, Alipay, and CoinGate. So very convenient indeed. And now I'm going to give you an additional coupon code, okay? So as you can see, if you select for 48 months, it would cost you $143.52. They will apply taxes on top depending where you're based in the world, okay? So based in Ireland, myself, I would pay $176.53, okay? So this is my total cost for 4 years, okay? Now I have a coupon code. So here you click on this, and now you're going to type all in capital letters, Mr. Web Reviews, okay, and then click apply, and look what's going to happen. So 176.53, and now we're down to 158.88. So you saved an additional 10% on top. So this is the bargain of the century. You know, when you see the quality of the service provided by Hosting, I have all my website hosted with them, you know, and that's basically it. Now all you have to do is proceed to checkout, and then I'll meet you guys in the next step. And now that you are registered with them, you can log in into your account. Okay, so let's just click login. Use your email address and password. Very good. As you can see, now we are logged in into our account. So the very first step is to claim our free domain. So let's click on this together. And right here, you're going to type the domain name that you'd like to register. Okay, so let's say, for instance, your domain name, okay, and then you can select the extensions. So we have .in for India, .me for personal website, .com for commercial, .xyz, .help, etc., etc. As you can see, a very comprehensive selection here indeed. So let's select .com, for instance, as an example, okay, and then we have to check the availability. Now, .com being the most popular one, chances are you will see this message here. This domain is already taken. Please look for another one, basically, okay? Then you have to look for a different variation of the same domain name. So in our case here, since we are building an e-commerce website, we're going to look for instance to book e-commerce with Mr. Web. Okay, so let's check the availability. And as you can see, this one is available. So to register this domain name, if you're happy enough with this, all we have to do is click Claim Domain. So let's click on this. So to register a domain name, you need to add your details, business details or personal details that are attached to it, obviously, you know, and then all you have to do is click Finish Registration. So as you can see, our domain name e-commerce with mrweb.com is being registered, and there you go. This is done now. And after this, all you have to do is click Continue, and we'll be redirected back to our dashboard, basically. Okay. Very good. And as you can see, it is now active, which means that your domain name is now fully registered. Okay, so let's go back to our home page. And now we need to set up our hosting itself. Okay, so as you can see here underneath, I have all these different plans myself because I use them for all my different tutorials. I have VPN server, premium shared hosting, WordPress starter, and cloud startup as well. But basically yours will look something similar to this one, premium shared hosting. So this is the one that you get by using the link in the description below. Okay, so to set this up is very easy. All you have to do is click setup and then start now. And then we can follow the different steps. Okay, so what are you doing now at the moment? Are you creating a website for yourself, for someone else, or you already have a website? Chances are you're probably creating this for yourself. Are you building it yourself? Most likely as well. And what type of website is it? We are going to build an online store. Okay, this is an e-commerce. And then do you need help building your website? We're going to say no thanks, because that's the whole purpose of this tutorial, is to show you how to do it. And then we're going to create a new website. Okay, let's click on this, and we're going to select this option here. So this is WordPress we're going to use as our main platform, and then simply enter email address and password and click continue. There you go. So what we need absolutely here is WooCommerce. All the others are optional. So basically Monster Insight, Opt-in Monster, All-in-One SEO, and Google Sitekit. You can install them, but your website will be very bloated and we don't really need them, you know. So let's click continue now. And then which look do you prefer? We're not going to select any of them. I have a much better solution for you today. So skip, I don't need a template. And then we're going to select the domain name we just registered. Normally it should be there automatically, but you might have to click on the drop down menu and select it manually. Okay, so let's click select. And then you have to select your nearest server to your target audience, obviously. So you're based in the United States, you have the choice between West Coast and East Coast. You have South America, Europe, and also India and Asia, South Asia, okay? So being based in Ireland myself, I'm going to select United Kingdom here, which is the nearest, okay? Let's click change. And then now we can finish our setup. That's basically it. And now we can go straight to our WordPress dashboard or go back to our control panel, which is what we're going to do because we still have to set up our email address. Okay, so let's click on manage site. And as you can see here, our website is running smoothly. So everything is in place and our SSL certificate has been installed as well. So everything is absolutely perfect. Now let me show you how you can set up an email address for your website. So we go here to emails, email accounts. Select your domain name, so at yourdomainname.com, click manage. And right here, if you click on the plus sign here, you can create a new email address for your domain name, okay? And right here, enter the name you want to register. So for instance, info at accounts at your name at yourdomainname.com, and then enter a password, okay? And all you have to do is click create. And right here, they give you all the information required if you wanted to read this in any mail provider, like for instance, Apple Mail, Outlook, Thunderbird, or Gmail, for instance, you know, in which case you need your incoming server, IMAP, SMTP, and POP server, the different values, and also if you need to enable SSL and TSL. That's basically it, okay? So make a copy of this. Once you have this set up, you can click complete, and that's basically it. We're done already. And now finally we can access our WordPress dashboard and start configuring our website. Okay, so this is everything done for our server now. So we go back to websites. So we have our website here, and now we can edit our website. So let's log into our WordPress dashboard. It's going to open a new tab. Okay guys, so welcome to our WordPress dashboard. So the first step is to do a bit of cleaning up. Got a lot of things here by the side that we don't need basically, okay? So for this, we go to plugins, we go to installed plugins, And as you can see, there's quite a few installed here. So what we're going to do basically is to get rid of most of them except one. We're just going to keep WooCommerce. So we're going to bulk select them all. We're going to untick WooCommerce, go back on top, bulk action. We're going to select deactivate, apply. And now let's do the same again. So bulk select and then untick WooCommerce. And this time for the bulk action, we're going to select delete and then apply. And then confirm, okay. And there you go, they're all deleted now. So if you go back to your WordPress dashboard, and there you go, as you can see, they're all gone now. So we have a much cleaner environment now to work with. So we can dismiss this message as well, just letting you know that the latest version is installed. So we can dismiss this. And that's basically it. So now we're going to go to our main settings and make sure that the title of our website is correct. So we go to settings, general. And right here, as you can see, I put bus ticket here, but you can put whatever you want. And also a tagline. So the tagline basically is just an added subject basically to your title. So bus ticket, and maybe here you can type something like easily book any ticket within Ireland, or maybe whichever country you're in, obviously, you know. So make sure the admin email address is correct, because this is where you're going to receive all your emails, email confirmations. And then scroll down the page and click save changes. And now we're going to go to permalinks, and right here make sure that you select this option here, post name. So basically, let's say if you were to create a page called About Us, it will show yourdomainname.com/about-us, which is easier to read from a visitor's point of view, but also for SEO purposes, it will be optimized as well. And then scroll down the page and save changes. And that's basically it for the initial settings. And now let's have a look at our website. So if you hover on top of the website name here, visit site, so right click, open in a new tab. And that's basically what it looks like at the moment. So this is the default theme, the 2023 that comes with WordPress. So it's very basic, obviously, at the moment, but don't worry. We're going to install our own theme and all the plugins required for this project. So let's do that together now. So we go back to our WordPress dashboard. And first, let's take care of the appearance, our theme. Okay, so we go to appearance, themes. And now we're going to click add new. And we're going to install Astra. So it should normally be here in the recommended, but if it is not, you can always type Astra here in the search box and it will show up like this. Okay, so if you hover on top, as you can see, you have a button here, install. Simply click on that and now activate. Very good. And now we're going to install our starter template. So basically they have 240 plus ready-made website that you can import with ready-made layouts, which is absolutely fantastic, because that's going to save us a lot of time and you guarantee that your website will look professional as well. Okay, so for this we go to Astra here, click on it, and right here on top, as you can see, you have starter templates. Now you need to click on this one and then install and activate. Very good, so that's done now. And now, depending on your screen resolution, you might have to scroll down and find this button here, build your website now. So click on that button here. And now you can select among those three different page builders. You have Block Editor, which is Gutenberg, the built-in editor that's in WordPress. Elementor, which is the easiest drag and drop page builder you can find on the planet. And Beaver Builder. Now it's just a matter of preferences, you know, they're equally good. I'm used to Elementor myself. I love it. So we're just gonna go ahead with that. To be honest, it's just the easiest one to use, you know. So let's click on this. And then from here, you can select your layout and your template. So as you can see, you have different sections here. You have business, local business, personal care, and so on. So you might go for something maybe related to transport, or maybe if it's local business, maybe movers or transport again here, you know. If you click on any of them, so let's click on transport here. You'll have everything related to transport, obviously. So some of them you will notice are premium. So this is the premium version. This is the paid version. And all the others, like this one, for instance, is free. Okay, so feel free to select any of them. But what we're going to do today, we're going to use a multi-purpose template. So basically that means that it can be used for any type of website. They're not basically linked to a specific industry. And it's those three here. You can choose among those three different templates. You have Love Nature, Outdoor Adventure, or Planet Earth. So if you were to go back to the main screen here, as you can see, you have this one, Love Nature, Outdoor Adventure, and Planet Earth. So Planet Earth is their latest multi-purpose layout template, which is absolutely fine and gorgeous, you know. Now we might want to use any of them. It's really up to you. Either of those is absolutely fine, you know. So I'm just going to use this one here, for instance, Outdoor Adventure. If you click on this, and now we can install our template. Okay, so here you can upload your logo if you have one already, but we'll take care of that later. Okay, so click skip and continue. And now you can select your default colors, your palette basically, okay? So if you wanted something maybe red or in this color, maybe you prefer something in more in the purple range, maybe orange or blue, whatever color you want, just basically select it here, okay? So let's go ahead with the red color perhaps, and then you can scroll down the page and select your font as well. So by default, it's Montserrat, which is a very popular and easy to read font. So that's very important, obviously, But if you want to give your website a different feel, you can select any of those here underneath. So select the font that you prefer, obviously, So I'm just going to leave it as it was, just using Montserrat, and then click continue, and just make sure you tick all these 5 boxes here, and then click submit and build my website. There you go. So now it's started already. We are building your website. So this is going to take a few moments, maybe a minute or two, Okay, so nearly there now. That's it, 100% done. And that's it. Once you see that screen, there's the confirmation that it's done. So what we need to do now is click on this button here, exit to dashboard. And this is going to bring us back to the WordPress dashboard, obviously, So you get a message here. You can dismiss that. So maybe later. There you go. And as you can see, WooCommerce is being updated at the moment. So this will take care in the background. So don't worry about it at all. And now we need to install our main plugin for our ticket booking, for the bus booking, including the seat arrangement and all that. And for that, we're going to use this plugin here. So it's called Bus Ticket Booking with Seat Reservation. I'll leave a link in the description below, and you can download it immediately here for free from the WordPress repo. So what I'm going to do basically is just to copy this, and we're going to install that on our WordPress website now. So we go to plugins, add new, and right here in the search box, type in Bus Ticket Booking with Seat Reservation. And there you go. Now we should be here right on top. So click install now. And then activate. So there you go. As you can see, WooCommerce is installed, so we don't have to do that, but it will run a check. Just in case you install it without WooCommerce, it will advise you to install it and activate the plugin as well. But since we've done that initially already with Hostinger, we don't have to do it anymore, okay? So now we click next. So here, the bus label, it should be bus, and bus slug, keep bus as well, and then next. And that's basically it. We're done with the initial setup for this. So finish and save. Okay, very good. So now let's configure all our buses. So as you can see by the side, you have all these different tabs. So first we have to create our bus types and then add all the bus stops and then pickup points, okay? So let's go ahead with this. So first is the bus types you need to set up. And now right here, depending on the type of business you have in mind, you can add all your buses that you have, the type of buses. If it's just one type of bus that you have, just put bus, okay? Simple as. Maybe you have buses and coaches as well. Maybe city coach and intercity coaches as well. Whatever it is really, So let's go ahead with maybe we have 2 types, let's say, okay? Maybe you have city bus and maybe intercity bus. So this is basically it. So you understand the principle here. So put any type of buses that you have available. And then we're going to add our bus stops. So this is pretty self-explanatory. This is basically all the boarding stops where people can get on board. And this is basically it, So from here, let me give you an example here. So you have bus around here in Ireland. So if I was to go from Dublin to Sligo on the other side of the country, we have a route 23 I can take, okay? So this is the bus, and here are all the intermediate stops. So that's basically what you have to enter, So if I was to select this, and then I'd paste it here, and then add, and I could do the same with everything, Then we go to Dublin Airport, add, and we do the same with Lucan, Spa Hotel, Control-C, Control-V, and then add. And let's go again with Maynooth here. Control-C, Control-V. And then you would do so with all the different routes, obviously, where your buses go through, okay? So I'm going to add them all very quickly here. Very good. So now we have all the different stops here added for that route, okay? So that's how you do so. And you would do so with all different routes that you cover, obviously, So this is just one way here between Dublin to Sligo, but now it could be Dublin to Cork, Dublin to Belfast, and so on. Wherever you are based, obviously, from one city to the other, you have multiple routes. You have to put all the stops right here, okay? So that's step number 2. And now we're going to add our pickup points. So what are pickup points, and what's the difference between pickup points and bus stops? Well, bus stops is the physical location where you stop and you can get people on board, okay? So that's basically a bus stop. Now, a pickup point is more like a location, generally speaking. So let's say if you have an intercity bus that goes through different cities or maybe different villages or something like this, you can mark the pickup points as a geographical location. So let's say if I'm going from Longford to Sligo, I'll be going through Mullingar, Longford, Carrick-on-Shannon, Boyle, and then Sligo. So these are basically all the main points, the pickup points along the way. And that's going to help your visitors find the exact route they want based maybe on a geographical location like maybe a village or a town. Okay, so right here I'm just going to add them. Okay, so we have Dublin obviously, and then we'll have Longford, Mullingar, Carrick-on-Shannon, Boyle, and then Sligo. So basically these are all the towns along the way. This is going to help your visitors find their route. Okay, so that's basically it. So we're all set up here with our main essentials, and now we can add our buses. So let's add our route 23 here as an example. Okay, so as you can see, have all bus and add new bus. So let's add a new one together. Very good. So this one is going to be route 23. And you can add a description here if you want to as well, but there's no need for that basically. Okay, so scroll down the page. As you can see, bus number, it'll be 23, and then how many seats are available. So this is really up to you to decide. So to help us with that, we have the seat plan as well. So first question, do you want to show the seat plan or not? Or is this just like a bus and then you have a certain amount of seats available? That's really up to you again. You know, as you can see, you have seat type. So seat plan or without seat plan. If you don't want the seat plan, obviously this will disappear. If you want the seat plan, then you can design it together. So we're going to do that anyways, okay? So for now, let's say you want to show the boarding time, yes, and the dropping time, probably not, because technically when you get to the next stop, that's basically when the drop-off time is as well. So this is a bit redundant, isn't it? So let's design our seat plan, okay? So where is the driver positioned? So if you like us here in Ireland or in the UK, it will be on the left-hand side. If you're in Europe or maybe in America, then it'll be on the right-hand side. That's really up to you, you know? So let's say the driver is on the right-hand side. Now you have to decide how many seat columns. So imagine you have rows and columns, okay? So let's say usually it should be 4 columns and maybe 12 rows or something like this, okay? So I'm just going to show you the results here. You will understand what we're doing here. So this is created, okay? So let me show you just with the demo very quickly here. So this is what it looks like in the front end once you go and book your seat. So you can see here you have the different seats available, okay? So from 1 to 20, and then you can click on one to book it or untick it to basically disable it. So this is basically where the driver is located, as you can see here, and then you have basically all the different seats. So what you have is columns and rows. So that's basically how this works, okay? So let me show you now how we can do this together. So now let's say the driver should be here on the right hand side, and now we have our seat. So you can assign numbers. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So from 1 to 12. And then on this side, maybe there's just those 2 rows here, okay? So let's go here and add those numbers. And then maybe the back row is a complete seat, maybe available for 4 people, okay? So maybe here you can add different numbers. So this could be 35, 36, and 37 then, okay? And that's basically it. So now you know that you have 37 seats available. Now, if you're like us in Ireland or in the UK, you might have double deckers as well, in which case you can use the toggle switch here and you can have the seat plan for the upper deck as well. But we're just going to go ahead with 1 deck at the moment, okay? So like we said, we know we have 37 seats, so go back here, total seats 37, okay? So don't forget to publish and save from time to time as well. Very good. So now let's go back to the side here, and then you have routing. So these are basically all the stops where you have boarding points. So like we said, we're going to start with Dublin here. So we have Dublin North Wall Quay 3 Arena, and then we go to Dublin Airport, we said. And then after this, where do we go? We go to Lucan Spa Hotel. So Lucan Spa Hotel. So I'm going to add them very quickly here. So there you go. I've added all the boarding points right here. So Dublin Airport and then Lucan Spa Hotel, Maynooth and so on. So you would do the exact same. And now we can add the time, basically the departure time or arrival, whichever way you look at it, you know. So it's 11:06, 11:20, 11:45. So here we type 11:06, 11:20, 11:45. And you would do so with all of them, obviously, you know. And there you go. As you can see, now I've added all the different times right there. Okay. So now there is one more thing we need to do is to add all the dropping points. So as you can see here next to routing, it says boarding time and dropping time should not be empty. If you set those fields to empty, you might get unwanted results. And then if you want to hide them after that, you can do so in the backend in the settings. Okay. So as you can see, from any point you start at 11:06, you arrive at 11:20. So this is basically what you need to do. So the next dropping point here should be basically Dublin Airport, and this is 11:20. Okay, 11:20, and then you add the next one. So it arrives from here, it goes to Dublin Airport, and then from Dublin Airport it goes to Lucan Spa. So select Lucan Spa now. Okay, and right here it is 11:45, isn't it? And then carry on, and then from Lucan Spa it goes to Maynooth. So let's select Maynooth, and right here it's 11:55, and you would do so with all of them, obviously. Okay, so there you go. I've added them all, as you can see. So basically you can take this one and put the next step here. So this one should be there, this one should be there, and so on. Okay, so that's basically following each step all together. And now obviously, as you can see, we added this one at the bottom. We don't need it anymore because we go from Castle Baldwin to Sligo, and this is our final destination. And now if you scroll down the page, you have the expand route summary. So if you click on this, you will see it will create all the starting point and drop-off point all together from all the different locations, because obviously you can go from Maynooth to Longford, you can go from Maynooth to Anaduff, you can go from Maynooth to Carrick-on-Shannon. So all these have to be reconciled, and as you can see here at the bottom, it will do that automatically for you. So it will go from Dublin to Dublin Airport, from Dublin to Lucan, from Dublin to Maynooth, and so on and so on. And basically all these destinations will be reconciled here at the bottom of your page. So very good. So now all you have to do is click update. And then let's go to the next step, which is the seat price. So right here, you can have a different price depending on obviously the distance. So if someone was to board from Dublin going to Sligo, he's going to have to pay the full price. Now, if I meet halfway, maybe in Carrick-on-Shannon, the distance is much shorter, obviously, you know. So this is probably half the price of a normal ticket, or maybe it's the same price for everyone. Regardless, this is really up to you, you know. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you different options here. So add more. Okay, so select boarding point. So let's say if you was to start from the very beginning, from Dublin North Wall Quay 3 Arena, then the price of a ticket is maybe 20 euros. Okay, if it's for a child price, maybe half price, maybe 10, and an infant maybe it's free for an infant. Okay, just like this, and then you can continue on. So let's say if I was to board from Dublin Airport, it still be 20, and then 10 and free for the infant. And then we go ahead now. So let's say if I was to board maybe Longford Station, I'm halfway there, you know. So maybe it's only 12.50 from there, okay, and maybe 7.50 for a child, and still free for the infant. So you would do so obviously with all your stuffs, and you can break this down based on the distance, obviously. Okay, now as you can see, we also have dropping points. So we didn't add any dropping points because technically boarding points are also dropping points. Now you can have a mixture of both, you know. So here you could have, for instance, from Dublin to the midpoint, or from the midpoint to the end, whatever way. This could be a different price, so you can actually configure that whichever way you want. So it's very flexible, as you can see, you know. So what I'm going to do basically is to add everything very quickly, and maybe all at the same price for now. Okay, so there you go. That's what I've done so far. As you can see, is all the different boarding points, all the same price for adults and same price for child. Okay, and then 0 for infants. So now we have our pickup points. Now you can enable pickup points as well. As you can see, it's when you have multiple pickup points for a single boarding point. So at the moment, let's enable this. Let me show you an example, okay? At the moment, we have Mullingar here, as you can see, of Castle Street and Hospital. We have Dublin as well, North Wall Quay, and then Airport. So basically what you could have is just have one boarding point, which is Dublin. And then here you can add your pickup points and then break it down in those two different locations. So you have North Wall Quay and Airport. And this one would be Castle Street and Hospital. Okay, so that's really up to you. Or you can have all of them as basically boarding points, And that's basically the same thing anyways, you know. So that's really up to you. If you want to break it down this way, you can use pickup points as well. And then we have the on day and off day. So this is basically to set the timing where the days where you're actually operating, okay? And right here, as you can see, we have a calendar. All you have to do is basically tick the days where you're working. So let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe you're not working during the weekend, okay? So I'm just going to select those actual days here, weekdays, add them very quickly. So this is per month. So that's one way of doing it, or you can disable this and tick the off days instead, because you technically have more off days than on days, okay? So let's say Sunday you're not working and Saturdays you're not working. Well, basically that's it. All the Saturdays and Sundays will be off. They won't be able to book for those days. Now, maybe you have bank holidays or maybe some days that you're not operating, maybe national holidays or something like this. You can simply open your calendar and you can select a specific date, let's say maybe 24th of July, and you can add maybe one as well, maybe let's say September the 1st is a bank holiday, and perhaps as well, let's say 24th of December or something like this, okay? 24, there you go. So you can just add them like this, and that's basically it. And then by the side here, you have bus as well. So let me move myself on the other side. So as you can see, you have to select the bus type. So this is an intercity bus, obviously, you know. And then you can select all the bus stops it covers, you know. So maybe all of them. There you go. And then you can also add an image. So let's upload one together. And then from here, you can upload a new file, select file. So I found one online here, bus Aaron. And then add. Very good. And as you can see, it says show featured image in the post list only, but hide in the single post. So I would leave it the way it is for now, okay? So we're basically done with this, and we can click update. And that's it. We have a fast route in place, which is route 23, and then you can do so with as many as you want, obviously, you know? Okay, and now we can come out of this. So click on the logo here to go back to the WordPress dashboard. And that's it, basically. As you can see, now I have route 23. And again, like I said, you could do so with as many routes and as many buses as you have, obviously, you know. Okay, so next, this works in conjunction with WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is an e-commerce platform, the most popular one for WordPress. So what we need to do now is to configure everything and set everything up from that standpoint. So what we do is we go to WooCommerce and then settings. And then from here, we can configure everything. Okay, so first we need to enter our address. So let's type the address here. So perhaps something like this, basically where you're based, you know, where your office is based or where your business is registered. And then scroll down the page and selling location. So here, normally, if you're talking about buses, it should be the same country, you know. So I'm just going to select Ireland here. So sell to all countries, select to all countries except or specific country. I'm going to select specific country here and I'm going to type Ireland, okay? So in your case, it could be anywhere you're based, basically, you know. And then here, ship to all countries. You sell to, ship to all countries. Well, basically here, this is a digital good, you know. There is no shipping here. So we're going to disable shipping and shipping calculations all together. And then you have the default customer location. So this should normally be the same as your shop country region, because normally all the buses are driving in and around Ireland. So this should be the same, or whichever country you're based in, obviously, you know. Now, are you VAT registered or taxes registered? If this is the case, enable this if you have to apply taxes in your pricing. And then you might enable coupon codes as well. It's a nice marketing trick anyways, you know, it always helps. So right here, set everything related to your currency and then save changes. So next, if you tick that box here, if you are registered for tax, we're going to set up our tax rates. So I'll click on taxes. And right here, you're going to define if you enter the price in the backend and front end, including taxes or excluding taxes. As you can see, you have the price entered with tax. And then you also the price that you display in the shop, so in the front end, basically. So technically, I would say it should normally be including taxes because it's for end users, you know. If they pay $5.99 for a ticket, it's $5.99. They're not interested in excluding taxes, okay? So let's say you're going to enter the tax inclusive of tax, and you're going to do the same with the front end, including tax and including tax. So they should all be the same. So this is absolutely relevant, okay? So save changes. And now we're going to set our standard rates. So from here, you can insert a row. And right here, we need to enter the country code. So just type the first few letters of your country. So I'm going to select Ireland here. And you can even break this down in different states if you have different rates, depending where you're based, obviously, you know. but I think normally most countries have the same rate throughout the whole country. So here in Ireland, the VAT rate is 23%, and I'm going to put IE VAT at 23%. So this is the name basically, okay? And after this, click Save Changes. And that's basically it. Our taxes are taken care of. And now the most important part, we're going to set up our payment gateway. So go to payments here. And as you can see, by default, you have WooCommerce payments and those ones here. So you have cash on delivery, check payments, and direct bank transfer. So this clearly does not apply to our business model here. We need payment, online payments, obviously, you know. So now you can use this one here. This is basically powered by Stripe, which is a well-known and very popular payment gateway. Now I'm going to show you a much easier way, because here they're going to charge you an extra fee on top of Stripe's fee, you know. So I would not advise you to do so. If you can do so, click install and go through the different steps. But I'm going to show you a much more efficient way. So for this, we go to plugins, add new, and right click on this and open this in a new tab. And let's say you want to add Stripe, or maybe Google Pay or Amazon Pay, or maybe PayPal, or any of them. What you do basically, you go to the search box here, type WooCommerce, followed by the payment gateway that you want to install. So I'm going to say Stripe here as an example, okay? So there you go. So you're offered with all these different options here. So which one should you choose? Well, go with the one that has the most active installations. This one has 900,000 plus. And also you can check the reviews, you know, and see how positive they are. Normally, the one that's on top here is the most popular one and the best, that has the best reviews. So you could almost immediately go with the very first one here, or perhaps the second. So I'm just going to install this one here. So let's click install now and then activate. Very good. So that's done. So I can close this. So let's go back here. And now if we refresh our page, the payment tab, as you can see now, with all these different options here available to us. So the one we want is the main one here, Stripe credit card, okay? So this is their main gateway. So what we need to do is to basically enable this. And now we can actually either create an account or link our existing account, which is most likely the case. I presume you already have a Stripe account if you go down this route, you know. So what we need to do basically is to create or connect an account. So let's click on this. And now this is our actual account. So I'm just going to click connect. And now for security purposes, I cannot show you the next step, but it's very easy. Just follow along and then I'll meet you guys once it's installed again. So there you go. Once your account is connected, you will end up on this screen here. As you can see, it's enabled by default. And what I would highly recommend is to enable the test mode for now as well, so we can run a test basically. As you can see, I have the test card number. If you open this in a new tab, you will see you can actually use the same digits at the end. So basically, if you click on this link, you can try a Visa payment or MasterCard. And these are the numbers 4242, 4242, any CVC digit and any date in the future. So very easy to use. And this will allow you to run a test without actually needing to pay for it, okay? So once you're done here, scroll down the page and click Save Changes. There you go. And now we're done with this. So we go back to our payment methods and make sure it's activated. And there you go. As you can see, everything is in order here. So we're good to go now. Okay, guys. So now the only thing left is to actually design our homepage and add the booking form. And also we're going to run a test and make sure that everything is running smoothly. Okay, so let's go ahead with this now. Okay, so back to our homepage now. As you can see, it's got nothing to do with buses or coaches or selling tickets or anything, okay? But don't worry, we're going to take care of this together now. It's very, very easy. So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. And from here, we go to Pages, All Pages. And now locate the home page. So it should be here. Normally you should see a front page Elementor. So if you hover on top, you have 3 different actions here. You have edit, quick edit, and edit with Elementor. So this page was built using Elementor, which is a drag and drop page builder. So simply click on this. And there you go. So welcome to Elementor. So basically Elementor, like I said, is a drag and drop page builder. So you have the navigator that will display by default. You can close that. You don't need it for now. So as you can see, as I hover on top, you can see different sections and elements and also columns here. So basically, if I click on this, as you can see, this is a section. Every section is made out of different columns, or perhaps sometimes just one. And in the columns, you insert basically different widgets. So this is, for instance, a heading. And this one is a button, and so on and so on, okay? And basically, if you click on this 9 squares here, this icon, you will find all the different elements, which are also called widgets. And since this is an easy drag and drop feature, well, basically you can just drag and drop it on your page. So if I wanted to add a paragraph here, some text, drag it here and paste it. And as you can see, the text is right here. And then you can customize everything, you know, you can change the text color, etc., etc. So it's very, very easy to use. And then if you want to delete things, well, all you have to do, hover on top, right click, and then you can delete. As you can see, you have a button here, and then you're back to normal. What else do we have? We have by the side here a history as well. So we just delete it. As you can see, you can always go back a few steps, or 2 or 3, as many as you want. So I can go back to the very start now, and the page will be exactly the same way it was initially before we applied any changes. So that's basically how this works, okay? So now we can configure this together. So first, let's take care of our hero section. So the first thing we need to change to give it a better feel is to change the background image. So if you click on the section itself here, and then you go to style, as you can see, it has a background image. And now we can change that image with our own. So obviously we're going to upload something related to buses or coaches. So now you can delete this just like that, okay? And now we can add our own image. So click on the plus sign and we're going to upload a new file, okay? So I found one online here. So maybe this one here, this is suitable, you know, upload. And then behind me, as you can see, I have a select button. So click on that. And there it is. So now we are totally different feel, obviously. You know, this is completely different now. But obviously, we have a few changes to make. So this is not just perfect, but it's better already. So now we want this section to be a little bit smaller because this is taking the whole screen. So that's not really suitable for us. So how can we do so? If you go to the advanced section here, you can remove the padding here, make it a bit smaller. You know, it's 270 on top and 270 at the bottom, which is way too much. So let's try maybe 150 and 150. So we have to try, obviously, you know, until it fits perfectly. Maybe a little bit more even. I would go maybe 110 and 110. Yeah, just about there, because what you want, basically, we're going to add the booking form right here underneath, okay? So we want your visitors to see all of that all at once they land on your homepage. Now, obviously, our bus is not centered anymore. We don't see it, so we can change this as well. If you go back to style here, as you can see, you have the position here. So you have default center, center left, center right, and then you have a custom as well. So click on that, and now you can move it manually yourself, you know? So as you can see, you can center that in the middle, and maybe have it bang on there in the center of horizontally as well. So there you go. That looks great now. Now we also have what is called a background overlay. So this is basically like a filter applied on top of the image. So we're using black at the moment, as you can see. So basically this is to provide more contrast between the background image and the text at the front. As you can see, it's very easy to read indeed, but you can still see the buses in the background. Now you can change that color basically by using the color picker here, you know, select any color that suits you. So maybe you could go maybe for more red or blue or whichever colors your company uses, you know. But I'm just going to leave it by default. I think a darker color like this is absolutely fine for our project here. But it's just to show you how this works. And then you have the opacity. So it goes from fully clear, so basically there's nothing applied, to fully opaque, and then you don't see the image at all. So what you need to do is basically find a happy medium, you know, between the two. So maybe something like this. So now we have our two headings, so heading and subheading. So you can reorganize them differently if you wanted to. You could have this one underneath it, you know, just like that. So you could have your main heading and subheading, and in which case you can remove this thing here. So, okay, if you click on this, as you can see, this is a divider. Right click on it and then delete. And that's basically it, you know, that's all you need really. All you need to do is basically a strong message here and then something else to back that up with a strong claim as well. So if you click on this, so let's change this. Instead of a wonderful gift, maybe you could have book intercity buses. Now, clearly this is too big now, so we can go to style. If you go to typography, so typography is just a fancy word for font, okay? If you click on this, you can select the font size and everything. So let's go ahead with a different font. Maybe you're gonna go with Montserrat, which is a very popular one. And then we can change the size, you know? So use the slider here until it is just about perfect. So right here, I think 52 would be fine. So again, you have to gauge that, obviously, you know. You can change the font weight as well. So we could have it in black or maybe bold. I think extra bold is just about the right size. And now we can change the tagline here underneath, okay? So obviously explore the colorful world. That's not suitable for us. So maybe something, Ireland's leading bus company or something like that, you know. So basically when someone lands on your website, they should have no doubt whatsoever what it is that you do. So when they see this, it is clear for them. You can book intercity buses and you are the leading bus company in the country. Simple as, isn't it? So now here underneath, as you can see, we have a call to action button. We don't really need that, so we can delete it, you know. So right click here and then delete, and that's it. So now we have to reorganize this on top. So click on that again, and now we go to advanced and might need to add a little bit at the bottom, maybe 150 or something like this. Again, you'll have to gauge that depending on the image that you selected and so on, okay? So don't forget to click update from time to time as well to save all the work done so far. And now we're going to insert our booking system just right there for all the buses, okay? So for this, hover on top of the next section here and click on the plus sign. Click on the plus sign again and now select your structure. So we're going to select a 3-column layout. Very good. And now we're going to narrow this down to 10% on the left. So there you go. Just try to have it right, 10%. And do the same on the other side. So 10%. Let me get it right here. There it is. So now we're going to go and add a widget, a shortcode widget. So let me show you first from the plugins page itself. So if you go back here and scroll down the page, you will find all the different shortcodes. They're right here, okay? So shortcodes. So shortcodes basically will allow you to insert some features from the plugin itself into your page. So all we need to do is basically fetch the search form, which is this one here. So grab this code here, Control C, go back to Elementor and look for shortcode widget. That's the one here, okay? So grab and drop it in the middle column. That's the one here, okay? And now paste your shortcode right here, Control V. And there it is. As you can see now, we can buy our tickets online immediately. We can search from a place to another place and then select the dates, okay? And that's basically it. So now we have it here. And now what we might want to do is to actually bring it up a little bit as an overlay on top of our image here. So click on your section here. We go to advanced. And right here we have the margin. So unlink this, okay? And now we're going to give it a negative margin on top for the top, okay? So as you can see, if you bring it like this, there you go. That looks absolutely great now. So maybe minus 50. Again, like I said, you have to gauge that depending on your layout and the image you have in the background. But that looks a lot more professional already, doesn't it? Now, clearly, as you can see, our search button here, it's in blue. And we said that the color, the main color of our website is red. So how can you change this? Well, very easy, actually. If you go back to your WordPress dashboard, you go to bus here and then settings. And you can customize all the colors from here. So if you go to color and style, so this is our main button background, which is this one here, okay? So we can change this to our own red. So let's select this one here as an example, you know, and then search next tab, text color. So as you can see, these are all the different sections here as well, you know, we can change all these colors. So everywhere where you have this blue, you could actually select your red and replace it very easy, just like this, okay? And then you can do so with all the others. So maybe this one here and this one as well. And there you go now, okay? So behind me we've saved changes, so click on that. Very good. And now if we go back to our actual Elementor page, click update. And now we're going to refresh for it to take effect and make sure everything is fine. So refresh. And there you go. As you can see, now we have a red button. But as you can see, it's all squeezed up. It's not displaying everything. So this is why we started with a 3-column layout, you know. So what you can do now, you can actually adjust this manually, maybe 5% on each side or 4.9, whatever, you know, suits you until it displays properly. Or you can get rid of those 2 additional columns altogether now that we know that it's fitting perfectly. So if you right click on this and delete and do the same here, right click and delete, as you can see, it's displaying fine, you know. So sometimes you have to try things out just before you go live, obviously, you know. So this is absolutely fine. Now we have our search ticket feature here and booking system in place. So let's move on with the rest of our page. But first, let's go back to our home page and make sure everything is fine, okay? So this is what our home page used to look like. So we can refresh very quickly. And there you go. Look at this. That looks really professional already, you know, very exciting. So now we can select this, for instance, if I were to go from, let's say, maybe Dublin Airport to perhaps, let's go to Sligo, maybe, okay? And we can select our date and the return date same day, and then we can search for buses. So this is working, okay? Obviously, we'll test this fully afterwards as well once we're done with the page. Okay, so what do we have here underneath? Now we have upcoming events and all that, so that's not really what we need, but we can change that very easily, you know. So underneath, maybe we could put something very compelling, you know, something that's got to do with your business, where they should choose you over anyone else or something like this. So let's go back to our Elementor page. So basically what you want to achieve now is to establish trust and authority in your industry. Okay, so as you can see, we have a testimonial. You could actually keep that. It's a very nice quote, you know. Maybe you can type a quote here from someone who left a testimonial that was really happy with your services or something like this. So let's use this as an example here. Okay, so if I click on this, now we can replace that with something else. So perhaps something like this, you know, really happy with the service provided. Buses are always on time, kept clean, and driver is very polite and accommodating. And right here you put the name, obviously, you know, so you have Adam Sandler, so maybe put a name like Sue Curtis or something like this, you know. So this is nice actually now, because now we have actually a quote that will help people trust you even more. So here underneath we have upcoming events, so we can replace that. As you can see, you have two different sections here, two different columns. So what we could do basically is to put maybe an image on this side, and on this put maybe a bit of history about your company, maybe some background story, how long you've been in business and all that. And again, what we're trying to achieve here is to establish trust and authority, obviously, you know. So what we can do is basically delete this here, delete this as well, and we can delete all the content in this section here altogether. Delete, delete, delete. There you go. So now we have a blank canvas to work on. So we can replace this image here maybe with a nice bus station or something like this. Okay, so let's click on this. Let's click on the image and then let's upload a new file. Also select our file. So I found one online here, maybe with a few buses lined up next to each other. Then as always, select. There you go. Now we have a nice image here, as you can see. And now we can add a bit of context here by the side, you know. So maybe you can fetch this title here and bring it here. And also this one here, which is the divider, put it underneath. And now we can add a bit of text. So click on those icon, or this icon here, text editor, and then drop this here at the bottom. So there you go, it's in place now, and now we can replace the text here. Okay, so type whatever it is that you think is suitable. So for instance, since 1992, Dublin Bus Services has been the go-to bus company, you know, something that's actually relatable to your audience. And obviously this will help your visitors trust you even more. Okay. And obviously now we have to change the title here, the heading. So let's keep it simple. So let's type maybe about us. Okay. So about us, there you go. Let's keep it simple, like I said. Okay. So now we can move to the next section. So what can we do now underneath? As you can see, you have this section here. So we can replace that with something else maybe. Okay. So we have a call to action button. So maybe you want them to book their ticket online, remind them maybe of a special offer, maybe emphasize a discount code, a coupon code or something like this, you know. So we can make use of this obviously to increase your sales marketing wise, obviously, you know. So what we can do first is to replace the background image. So let's click on this. We go to style. And again, delete this one and then click the plus sign. As always, you're going to upload a new image, select image. And again, I found one online, you know, this one here with a nice bus and all. And then select. Very good. So we have our image here. So again, we can center the image differently, you know. So position here, we're going to select custom. And then we can change the Y position here, maybe to have it bang on in the middle, just about there. That is perfect. Okay. So let's change our text here. So perhaps maybe something like up to 40% discount on group ticket, which is a nice offer, obviously, you know. And then you can type something here underneath, obviously, to back that up maybe. And then you have the learn more section here. So you could actually have this on a separate page and maybe have them to fill out a form or something like this, in which case you would then supply them with the coupon code itself. You can create them automatically or generate them manually yourself. That's all the same, you know. So whichever way is absolutely fine. And instead of the hashtag here, you would actually link this to the internal page. Okay, so next, let's move on to the next section here. So as you can see, I have a few images, a bit of text here. What I would do, I would get rid of that all together. So click on that, delete, and then add a new section here, and then one column all together. And now we're just going to add a few of our buses, basically, okay? So for this, we can use, again, a short code. So right here, as you can see, this is our search form, but you also have, right here is the bus list, basically, okay? So if you were to fetch this one here, Control-C, and go back to your page, and then look for short code again. drag and drop, and now replace this with yours. And there you go. As you can see, I've created a few buses, a few lines, obviously, you know. So I have Route 23, 41A, and 471. And this one is disabled accessible, you know. As you can see, there's a ramp here. So this might be something of interest to someone as well, you know. Now we're going to add a bit of padding on top. So go back to advanced, and this time we have padding. So click on this and maybe add 50 pixels on top and 50 at the bottom. And that's basically it, you know. So now we click update. And I think we're done for the home page. So let's go back to the front end and refresh. And there you go, guys. You can see our home page is done now. Beautiful hero section. Here we can book our ticket. And this is a testimonial about us section. And then coupon code. And right here, all the different routes and buses. So what do we have now? We're going to add a contact page as well, and then we'll take care of our menu section and footer section as well. Okay, so let's go ahead with this. So we go back to our WordPress dashboard. Again, we go to pages, all pages. So let's open our contact page. So there it is. Again, edit with Elementor. And there you go. This is our contact page. So again, as you can see, we have a hero section here on top. So we can replace the image maybe because woodlands and whatever it is, it's not really suitable. So again, delete this, upload a new image, and you can reuse any of those images you have already, you know. So select, there you go. Again, we're going to change the position, so custom, and we're going to center that maybe right there in the middle, just like that. Okay, so that's perfect. And let's scroll down. So as you can see here, we have our contact details. So to edit this, very easy done, you know. All you have to do is click on this and then change the text here, or the email address. Again, change this. So maybe hello@mrweb.tv, you know, and you can change your phone number. So maybe +1 234 5678 or something like that. Okay, so right here underneath we have follow us. So these are your social media icons. So click on them, and as you can see, you have Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, but you can add as many as you want. So if you wanted to add, let's say, LinkedIn, so type here LinkedIn, okay, and then you have the icon, click on it and then insert it. And now you can add the link to your actual landing page. As you can see at the moment, it's a hashtag. So you put actually your real page, so your Facebook page, and then maybe Twitter, YouTube, and also LinkedIn, and perhaps Instagram as well, you know. Now, if you don't want any of them, you can delete, very easy. So you can delete this, that's it. And now you only have those three, okay? And right here, as you can see, we're ready to talk, let's talk. So you can change this maybe and put contact form, and right here we have the contact form underneath. So if you click on this, as you can see, again, this is using a shortcode. So what does that mean? Well, it's using an external plugin outside of Elementor, okay? So if we go back to our WordPress dashboard, and right here, as you can see, by the side, we have WP forms. So if you click on this, as you can see, you have the shortcode here, and the ID is 12. And if you go back to our page, that's the exact same, you know, WP Forms ID 12. So this is definitely the one that's being used here. So if you want to edit this, all you have to do is click on it. Very good. And again, it's a very easy drag and drop feature, you know, super easy to use. And then you can edit the content. So here you have your name, email address, message. Now, maybe you want to fetch their phone number or something like this. Okay, you go back to fields here, all fields, and you can add a single line wherever you want, you know, so maybe name, email address, and maybe you're going to ask for the phone number here. Okay, there you go. If you click on this, you can replace the text, phone number, for instance. Okay, and that's basically it. Now you want to make it required or not. Maybe it's mandatory, maybe it's optional. If it's optional, just use the toggle switch here, basically. Okay, now you may have noticed that next to your name, email, and message, there's a small icon here. This is basically to hide the label itself, you know, so it's just the field on its own, which is actually fine, you know. So what we need to do basically is to go to advanced here and then hide the label. That's it. Okay, and now in the placeholder we're going to put phone number instead. Okay, so I put phone number, and as you can see, this is a hint basically. Okay, so anyone in the front end will know what it means, and you don't need the label anymore. So click save. And now you want to make sure that this form will reach you if someone fills out the information and submit. You want to make sure it's going to get to your email address. Okay, so for this, you go to settings, notifications, And right here, you want to make sure that this is going to reach you, okay? So basically, normally the email address should belong to the same domain name. As you can see, we have an error message. So it should normally be at mrwebreviewstutorials.com, which is the domain name I've registered here for these tutorials. So as you can see here, you have the email, admin email. So you can replace this with your actual email address. So info at, and then let's say mrwebreviewstutorials.com. And from is the same here. So those two emails, you have to replace them. So info at, and then your email address, okay? And as you can see now, the error message is gone, which means that you will now receive the email notification. So click save again. And that's basically it. As you can see, I have confirmation here, so you can change this as well, customize it. Once they have clicked submit, they will see this message. Thanks for contacting us. We'll be in touch very shortly. Now, again, you can customize it as you see fit, you know. Again, as always, click save, and that's basically it. That's us done. And now we can go back here and refresh our page. So if you click update and then refresh, you will see that those changes have taken effect. There it is. As you can see, now we also have a field that says phone number. Okay, so that's basically it for the contact page. So now let's take care of our logo, the menu section, and like we said as well, the footer section. Okay, so let's go ahead with this. So for that, we go back to our WordPress dashboard again. Then we're going to take care of the logo first. So for that, we go to appearance, customize. Very good. So right here, you can either use those sections by the side or can hover on top. As you can see, if you hover on top, you have the small pencil. Click on it. And now you can upload your own logo, okay? As you can see, you have two of them. So this is the low resolution and high resolution. So retina display. So let's upload both, okay? So I'm going to remove this one, select an image. And again, we're going to upload our own logo. So select file. And then we're going to select one with a white background. As you can see, this one is blue and green. I'm just going to select white font. Okay, so open and then choose image. Very good. As you can see, it's not showing because I'm using a 4K display. So we need to upload the high resolution one as well. So let's do this. Again, select the same one. As you can see, it's a white font. And there you go. As you can see, now we have Mr. Web as our own logo. So you can also change the size of your logo here by using the slider. So if you have a too big an image, you might reduce the size or make it bigger, you know. I wouldn't go too big, you know, not too overpowering, because you want this to be the main center of interest, not really your logo. Because clearly, if they land it on your website, they already know about you, you know. So maybe 120 based on the size of my logo here would be just about perfect. Now we have the take action here, so call to action button. If you click on it, again, hover on top, you have the blue pencil. Now you can add a link here. So maybe you could have this link to your contact page, you know, in which case you can type /contact/, and here instead of take action, maybe contact us, okay? There you go. Now click publish. And as always, let's put this to the test, okay? We go back to the front end and refresh. Very good. As you can see, you have the logo now, and let's click on this. And very good. As you can see, this is bringing us to the contact page. So this is working absolutely fine. Now let's take care of our menu section. So again, we go back to our WordPress dashboard, so we can exit out of this now. And then now we're going to go to appearance again, and then menus. And we only have one menu. As you can see, you have home, about, services, project, and contact, which is exactly what we have here, you know. So depending on which pages you've created and so on, you can just basically add them here, you know. So what I'm going to do is bulk select them all. I'm going to delete about, services, and project, and then remove selected items. And we're just going to keep home and contact because that's basically all we need, okay? And again, here behind me, as you can see, you have save menu. And that's it. That's the menu section done. And again, go back to your website and refresh. And there you go. As you can see, if you click on home, goes to the home page. If you click on contact, goes to contact page. And obviously you would do this with as many pages as you have, okay? And then all that's left now is the footer section. So for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard again. We go to widgets and then collapse this. And then as you can see, a footer builder widget one, expand. And this is the text basically, okay? So right here, you can change the content. So I'm just going to change the email address here. I'm just type hello@mrweb.tv and then update. And we're nearly there now, guys, okay? So let's go back to the home page here and refresh. And there you go. As you can see now, we have the new email address, and that's it. We're done now. Okay guys, so there's only one thing left now is to actually test our ticket booking system and make sure everything is working fine and smoothly, okay? So let's select from here. So let's say from Dublin North Wall Quay to, let's say maybe to Sligo, okay? And we're going to select a date, maybe 21st next week, and let's search for buses. Okay, so this is our result page. And as you can see, I have 3 different buses available for this. And it's 20 euro per seat and 37 seats available. So let's go ahead maybe with this one here, you know, route 471, so view seats. And right here you can see we have the different seats, so we can book our seat now. So let's say it may be us and maybe someone else with us, maybe husband and wife or with your kid or whatever, you know. So I'm going to book maybe those seats here at the front, maybe seat 20 and 19. So there you go, 2 people, so that's 40 euro in total. And now we can book basically, okay? So book now. And now we can go to our shopping cart. And there it is. You can see seat list is 2019, starting at 11:06, starting from Dublin North Wall Quay 3 Arena. And then we go to Sligo bus station, route 471. Now, if you have a coupon code, you can apply it here, okay? So let's scroll down and now we can carry on. So proceed to checkout. And now we need to enter our details. So I'll do that very quickly. Okay, so there you go. So let's pretend I'm John Doe and these are my details. And right here, as you can see, we have the credit card details. So now we can pay using a Stripe. So again, you can use a fake number. If you're in test mode, it's 42424242, any expiry date and any 3 CVC code, okay? So let me enter those details very quickly. And nearly there now. And there you go, guys. You can see this is our order confirmation. So we have route 41A times 1, seats 19 and 20 from Dublin to Sligo on the 21st at 11:06. And right here we have the breakdown as well. So it's 40 euro, including VAT at 7.48 euro. And this is our details. So basically that's it. Our booking is done. We have our seats reserved. And now as the website owner, you can see the order in the backend as well. So if you go to WooCommerce orders, as you can see, there it is. It's processing. If you click on this, you'll have all the details basically, okay? And there it is. As you can see, this is John Doe. And then he booked this, he booked seat 19 and 20. And again, it's the same details right here. So you can see all of this from the back end. And you have the payment confirmation here. As you can see, this was changed from pending to payment processing. And as you can see here, the charge was successful. So order charge successful in Stripe. So that means that now you have 40 euro in the bank. And that's basically it. And now your customer, the person who booked this, or John Doe, can now go and board the bus and go from Dublin to Sligo on the 21st of July. So now there's a nice feature, nice add-on that they have as well, which is a QR code scanner. As you can see, if you go back to the WordPress page here, okay, the bus ticket plugin page, and you scroll down, you will find a few items here that you can add to your website. So this one is available bus plugin add-on. So as you can see, bus seat plugin QR code add-on. So if you open this, you'll have all the details. So basically you can easily scan it in the bus, you know, and validate the ticket, and you have the full check-in history. So this is a very handy feature, obviously, you know. Now this is a paid version. As you can see, it's 40 euro per year or 149 once off lifetime, and you own it basically, okay? Now I'm not affiliated with this at all. Feel free to purchase this if you want to. Again, you purchase this from their website, Mage People, okay? So if you click on the link that's right here in the WordPress repo page, it will bring you to this section here, and then you can purchase that. So now there's one more thing I'd like to show you. So if you go back to the home page here, we have the search feature. So we have from, to, and the date, and then we can search our buses. Now, if you want to provide return as well, we can do that as well. So if you go back here to your WordPress dashboard, bus, and then settings, if you scroll down the page, you can see right there we have the show return field. So if you enable this, scroll down the page and save your changes. Now if you go back to the home page and refresh, as you can see, we have an additional field now. So now I can reserve from Dublin to Sligo. Maybe I'm leaving on the 15th and back on the 17th, but I can book 2 tickets all at once immediately from there. So it's a very handy feature, again, if you want to provide returns.